Hello, hi guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all. So we are going to spend next 30 to 40 minutes to have a quick introduction on AWS. Also, we are going to go through the course outline, what we generally cover as part of the training, right? So before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Suresh. It's almost 15 years in IT. So initially, I was more into kind of a infrastructure and data center operation role I was handling, and later I also worked as a security specialist. And from last 8 years, I am working as a cloud solution architect, where initially I was working only on AWS, and now I also work for Azure. So we mainly work for the clients around UK and Europe, where we help the clients across this geography for migrating their application from on-premises to cloud. And we also help them to fine tune and bring their existing cloud to the standards, mainly the cloud standards, right? So that is something the work we do on the daily basis. As far as training is concerned, I'm taking this training from last 3.5 years, mainly for AWS, and I also take training for Azure. Yeah. So that's one quick introduction from my end. I wanted to take your introduction as well, but since we have a very limited time today, so we will take that part as we go, right? So let's jump now to the course content. Now, if I take my own training track, whatever I took so far. So when the students comes to the training, there would be two purpose. The one is cracking the certification path, whatever we have in the AWS, plus the appearing for interview and getting the jobs, right? So these are the two main focus. Now, even from our training point of view, so we keep that in our mind, and all the course contents and each course uh, hands-on or exercise, everything it's focused mainly on both on the certification and also on the job oriented, right? So now quickly to go through the certification path of the AWS. So we have a certification path, something like this. This is official certification path from the AWS. So it starts from foundational, then it goes to associate, then professional, and then the foundational in the upper end. So generally these three are highly famous, I can say, like foundational, associate, and the professional. Now the foundation is for someone who is kind of new to the IT, right? So who have very basic IT experience. The associate is someone who is already working in the IT, at least 1 or 2 year experience, and who want to get into the AWS space, right? As a AWS cloud engineer or AWS architect, those kind of role. So AWS certified professional, this is mainly for someone who already have some AWS experience, working experience, at least the AWS working experience for 2 to 3 years, right? So they can go through the professional certification. Now, in terms of the category, the further, so you have AWS certified associate solution architect, developer, SysOps administrator, and you also have like professional solution architect and DevOps engineer. But the widely appeared certification is AWS certified associate solution architect, right? So this is something that widely appeared, and it matches the requirement for both roles in terms of AWS cloud engineer, also the AWS cloud architect. So for the both role, this certification matches. So in terms of course content for this, mainly the SysOps administrator and the architect, those are almost same. Where in the SysOps administrator, we discuss more basic, where in the architect, we discuss moderate uh, theory, architecture, plus hands-on as well. right? So the training which we are targeting for this batch is mainly the AWS Certified Solution Architect, right? So let me quickly take you through the course outline, what we offer in this training. So let me share my screen. Yeah, so this is the course outline. Hope you're able to see my screen. Yeah, so these are the course outline which are covered starting from introduction to cloud computing deployment modules, the delivery and service models. We also cover the Linux basics. So this is not part of certification, but the reason why we are covering is, so when you get into the job, so the Linux is something, it's kind of part of cloud, right? So for example, if you want to deploy any application or if you want to run any DevOps tool, so you need to know the Linux basics at least. So that we cover as extra. Then introduction to more on AWS services. Then we get into the individual AWS services in detail, like Elastic Compute, EC2, EC2 instances. There is something called EBS, Elastic Load Balancer, the auto scaling, the storage services like S3. So then the Glacier. Then we will also discuss about IAM. So then very important topic we have like cloud, private cloud, VPC, virtual private cloud. Then the DNS service like Route 53, the monitoring tools, CloudWatch. Then automated the email notification and messaging service like SNS and SQS. And we also discussed the automated environment provisioning, the automated server network, your load balancer with single template. So that is something we call it as Elastic Beanstalk. Then we also discuss on the PaaS services, platform as a service, that is the relational database. Then we will also going to discuss CloudFront, that is a caching service. Elastic Cache, again, it is a server level caching service. Then we have CloudFormation, right? Also, we are going to discuss some of the real-time use cases around. And all this topic, whatever we discuss, that is theory plus the practical. So we are going to do a hands-on on each and every topic, and we have a hands-on guide for each and every topic, which we are going to share, right? Now that's on the course outline part. Now in terms of number of hours, generally we need to cover is 32 hours of time, right? So within 32 hours, we are able to complete this entire batch, okay? So any questions, guys? Anything wanted to clarify?
Yeah, hi Suresh.
Yeah.
So after doing this course, can we apply for the certified exam of associate or professional? Which one we can
So you
go for?
can appear for associate, AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate. The professional, it's generally required a bit of experience, at least 1 or 2 year working experience.
Hmm. And the course
Yeah.
content will be for
So
professional
associate,
will be same contents or the different content for professional?
the professional, the course content is almost same, but when you appear for certification, the certification questions are scenario based, right? So
Okay.
there is all scenario based in terms of migration, in terms of new deployment, in terms of various the problem statement. So those are all scenario based, where if you have some working experience, that helps. But when it comes to associate, it is more like straightforward questions, technical questions, I can say.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, hi
Are you
Suresh.
trying to discuss on the some Terraform provisioning or AWS?
Terraform, it's not part of this training, but yeah, so I will help generally for all students, because that is also being considered now as part of cloud engineer profile. So I will give a good heads up and also reference scripts, documents, which will help you to take it forward. Yeah. So we will spend like 1 or 2 hours with Terraform.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Suresh.
Hello. Hi.
So are we doing any real-time project at the end of this course, like which includes all the concepts?
Yes. So initially, we discuss each and every topic one by one, right? And whenever we are discussing individual topic, we do a kind of a project. Like for example, when I'm discussing on Linux, right? So we will set up a sample website and we will see what are the commands are required for running those command, installing softwares, configuring web servers, kind of. Right. Similar way for each topic, we do small exercise initially, and later once we cover everything, so we will take one application, 1 or 2 application, uh, setting up in cloud by using all these services, whatever we discuss, right? For example, if you join to company, any team where it's using the cloud, right? And if they ask you to migrate one application, from where to start? So those kind of scenario, starting from getting into AWS subscription, creating your network, planning your IP ranges, setting up your subnets, internet gateway, the subnet types. So with complete scenario, covered projects.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Suresh.
Yeah, hi Suresh, Jitendra. What
Hi,
is basic?
Jitendra.
Yeah, what is basic requirement for this course?
Yeah, for learning AWS, you should know high level how the systems, at least how the system works, what is network, how what are the resources you generally attach, like CPU, memory, disk. You should know a bit on operating system part, right?
Okay,
So generic IT knowledge, it's okay.
okay, okay.
Hello, Suresh. Hi.
Yep. Yep.
Akram here. So, as you are discussing about the architect level, so is it include the migrations and all also in it?
Yeah. See, now when it comes to cloud, even your, I think there is some echo. I think someone has to mute. Thank you. See, when we look at around 3 to 4 years back, right? So there was a clear segregation of duties from administrator and the solution architect or architect kind of role, right? So generally, administrators are called as mainly to do the hands-on, right? So actual setting up. The solution architect team or solution architect, they mainly work for design kind of work, right? But with the cloud, the expectation is slightly changed. So even you are solution architect, so you should know the answer. So even you required to deploy the application, you're required to deploy cloud services. So that is a market expectation now, right? So however, it is slightly, overlapping, but that is a reality. Now, if you look at the 2 courses, there is a SysOps administrator and a solution architect. The contents are almost same. So even it is slightly confusing why we need that kind of segregation. But even if you look at the course content on AWS own official website, course contents are almost same, right? So if you take the solution architect certification, it's as good as you're covering both. In fact, solution architect, we cover slightly more in terms of architecture. We will discuss more on practical environment setup independently. Yeah, that answers your question.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yep.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, good morning, sir. Hello.
Yes, Srinivas, go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, present I am studying BTech third year, sir. Is there any use for AWS, sir, for me?
Okay, so which is the course you
Sir, I am
took?
studying.
What is the stream?
ECE, sir. Electronics.
Okay. So I think you might be having basic the computer subjects like what we had, like at least we had a basic computer knowledge, right? So also the programming the courses, right? So with that background, yeah, so you can start with the AWS, but yeah, so you need to put bit more effort in the initial time because some of the terms concept might be, it looks like a bit of new for you, but it would be beneficial once you complete your course and get ready for the job, not with a kind of experience, but yeah, so it will become like a plus point for your resume.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, not a problem. Okay, perfect. Now let's get into a simple scenario how this AWS helps to solve any business requirement or the real time, the application deployments requirements, right? So let me quickly take you through. So that would give a fair idea how AWS works, right? So let me share another slide now. Okay, so let's take example. You wanted to set up one website, right? So generally we have a practice or we always think to set up our own website. For example, example.com or sureshraj.com, our own personal website. Or we might think of setting up one website for our own college, right? To share the information about the college or to our own some community groups within our own society or so whatever it is, right? So we always dream or we always think setting up some our own website. Let's take such scenario, right? Someone wanted to set up something called example.com. Okay, now how to set it up? So if I go to my browser and if I hit www.example.com, so my page should load, right? So my page should load and it should have all the contents, whatever I wanted to share with my community, right? So with that kind of scenario, how the AWS helps, right? So generally you access to the website. So you simply go to the browser and you hit www.dominos.com or www.aws.com, right? So give me a second, something happened. So let me share my entire screen. Yeah, perfect. So now if you go to dominos.com, for example, or even Visual Path also fine. So let me take Dominos, which is one of the favorite for all of us, right? So if you go to the Dominos, so you get a Dominos web page. Okay, so your page is getting loaded and you get a various options like order online. You can search your favorite pizza and you can book. And practically how this works, right? For example, you want to set up your own website and you want to show your photo or your village photo or your college photo or some information about your college. Now, first thing what you do is you develop this front end page, okay, using some development language. So it can be a HTML or it can be a PHP, it can be Java or even it can be with Python web module. So there are different development languages are available in the market. So you can develop. Now, even nowadays, you don't need to have the development skill set. Like you don't need to really learn HTML or you don't need to learn PHP and all. So there are, desktop-based tools. You can install them. You can just drag and drop using the mouse. You can drag your image. You can put your content, right? And you can create your HTML page, right? So once that HTML page is created, so generally you can run that HTML page on your own desktop alone. So you can just double click and you can open that HTML page on your desktop. But if you want to publish that application to the internet, right? So to publish that application to the internet, so we need something called the servers. right? So you need some server. It can be a Linux operating system or it can be Windows operating system. And so we need to set up the server, and then you need to install all necessary softwares. So if you want to make it as server, then you need to install additional component like web server. So there are different web server softwares are available in the market, like Apache or Nginx or IIS. So you need to install those software inside the VM, and then you need to inject or you need to copy your HTML code inside the VM, right? So once you do that, okay, so once you do that, you can access your VM directly from the internet. Okay, so it can be named with some example.com using some DNS service. You can go to something called GoDaddy or any other DNS provider. You need to purchase your domain, and that domain need to be integrated with your VM IP address. So anyone from the internet, if they hit example.com, so that will go to your VM. Your HTML page will be rendered on your screen, just like the Domino screen is rendering, right? So that is a very basic scenario. So let's take, you are giving some additional options to your website. For example, you wanted to give some additional option like order something, right? For example, you want to order some pizza kind of option or some product in your website. So then it's required some logic to be executed, right? So there should be a proper logic which will search, for example, in case of order online. So it should give a front end for entering your visa details. It should have an option to enter the customer's address details, etc. For that, it's required proper the logic developed on the application. Again, it can be Java or .NET or any other application. So that is something need to be handled separately. So that's something we called as a app server. So initially we will have just a web server with HTML page, but when you need additional logic, complex logic, you need to have a separate server that is called as app server, and that app server can have a code plus logic. Now you might also require to have additional database, right? So generally this app server is going to contain your application code alone. Now, once you book your visa, so let's take you booked your visa. The information of booking, it has to be stored somewhere in safely, right? So it should not be lost in between. So it has to be stored safely. So for that, we have something called database. So generally it will be have kind of a tables and rows, the way how you have a Excel spreadsheet with rows and columns. The similar way you can store your data on the database, right? Now in the entire flow, how it works, I will hit to my website, that will go to the web server. My application code will be loaded from app server to my browser, and whatever information I feed into the website, that will be stored on in my database, right? So this is a very basic type of website with additional logic. Okay, now there is a problem with this kind of architecture. If you want to propose this for some customers, right? So generally the customers don't accept this. The reason is, so you have only one web server, you have only one app server, you have only one database server. There is a possibility that your server can go down and your entire website can be not reachable, correct? So there is high possibility that your server going down. Now in such case, so what we do is, so we will introduce additional servers. So we will introduce one more server for web server, one more server for app server, right? Now, if you have two servers, then how to balance the user request? For that, we introduce something called load balancer. Okay, so that will sit top of your web server. The load balancer is something, for example, if there are 100 users are coming to our website, the load balancer will distribute 50 users to one VM, 50 users to another VM, then the request will be forwarded like this. Yeah. So any questions so far? Anything wanted to clarify, guys? Okay, not a problem.
Hello.
So now, yep.
Hello. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
any language is mandatory for this?
No, no. See, being a cloud admin or cloud engineer, so you don't need to have any development language understanding. It's more on AWS. Everything we are going to learn from scratch, so you don't need to worry about it. So for when you are doing a demo or kind of exercise, we take a sample application code from internet and use it. So we don't develop application code in this training.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not a problem. So along with these services, we might require to add additional services as well. Like we might require to store some images, like if someone is uploading some image or video files. So we need additional media file services. Similar way, we might require to have some streaming data services, like whatever data is coming, so it might be streamed to backend to monitor your health status of your website. So you also may require to have additional, the caching services, the email services if you want to send the email to customer. If you want to send notification to mobile, right? For example, if you book visa on your mobile app, so once the visa is booked, you will be keep getting a notification saying that yeah, order is booked. The order is placed in the this particular outlet. The person has started to deliver, or person is started from the outlet to your address. So all those notification will be keep coming. So you might require to those services all enable, right? As an entire web application or any application, you need to introduce all these services on your data center, right? Or if you want to put it on the cloud, then we need to use the AWS services. If you're putting it on AWS, for entire all these services need to be sit on some network. So for network, we use something called VPC service of AWS. Next, for server, we use something called EC2 service. In the AWS, we have EC2 service. For database, we have something called RDS service. For some file storage, we have S3 service. For DNS, we have Route 53, right? So then for additional, for messages, we have SNS, SES, SQS. For monitoring, we have a CloudWatch, right? So likewise, so we set up entire application on the AWS, right? So this is how the any application is built on the AWS, right? So when you are setting up your application, you should be aware what are the AWS services should be consumed and how these services should be integrated each other and how it should be published to the internet. So all these things we are going to discuss in this training, right? And also we will discuss the security part of it. So there are different security tools we need required like IAM, KMS, ACM, WAP, and Inspector. So those things also we are going to discuss in this training. Make sense? Yeah. So that's how the entire training is, planned. Now, in terms of course content, course material, so we have something called Google Classroom, through which we share our all the course content. Okay, so we have customized course content for each topic. We have presentation as well as exercise document for each and every training whatever we conduct. Okay, for example, we will have document the topic wise like Beanstalk or lab, VPC or EC2, the Linux related. So we will also have bunch of interview questions, and so even we discussed Terraform part I was mentioning. For example, Lambda, so we have lab exercise for it. So additionally, AWS nodes, we have like customized AWS nodes, which is like how we take notes when you are reading the books, the important points. So that's something we created. So overall, it will give a good hands-on experience on the AWS end to end, right? So any questions? Anything want to clarify?
Suresh, what about the environment where we can do this practice?
Yeah. So I'm going to explain how to get your AWS subscription created, right? So you can get your AWS subscription almost for free cost. I mean, you don't need to pay anything. It's kind of a free tier, and this entire training you can do it on zero cost, right? So only thing, you're going to create subscription on your own name, and you can use it for 1 year.
Okay, okay.
Yep. Okay. So once you complete each class, so if you have any questions, you can raise it here as well. Okay. So this kind of stream the interaction we have, any communication or any questions you have, you can post in the stream. Okay. So that's how the entire class is the tailored. And yeah, so this is something which we generally cover in the introduction class. And yeah, so if any questions, I'm happy to address those. Else we
Do you have
actually
any?
good. Yeah.
Hi Suresh. Do you have any plan to cover container services like Docker, Kubernetes?
Yeah, so Kubernetes and Docker. So this is completely, the separate training course itself, right? So we can cover high level quickly the architecture and basics. I can share necessary course materials, but generally it is very wide topic. It's a separate course itself with the 25 hours.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Suresh, after this training, can we able to clear this solution architect associate level certification?
Yes. So associate level certificate, you can very well crack it. So I can help it out with some necessary event documents, and we have well uh, customized notes as well. So that will also should help, and we have some of question dumps which should help.
Okay, so after this class, I just want to plan for this associate level. So that's the reason I just want to ask you. And one more thing is like, are we able to get clear idea about whole AWS or else only this only up to the certification level?
See, now when I say AWS, right, so it is very vast. I mean, in terms of services, there are a lot of services are available in the AWS. So generally in the AWS solution architect or any foundation courses, so the key foundational services are covered, right? So when I say key foundation services, it's mainly your the services like EC2, network, security, your servers, the serverless. So those topics are covered. But there are other services as well, like for example, AWS Hadoop services, AWS Workspace, the desktop kind of services, the AWS X-Ray. So that is for analytics, ML, machine learning. So these are, it is we call it as stream-based courses. Like if you are looking for analytics kind of courses, people discuss AWS analytics kind of. But the solution architect certification, it's foundation services. So that will give a good grip, initial understanding on the AWS. Later, someone asks you to implement analytics service or Hadoop. So you can yourself you can learn and do that. Yeah. So that's why even we built our career around it. That answers your query. Yeah. Okay, perfect. If no questions, we are good to wind up, conclude this class at least for today. So you can connect with Visual Path, executive. I think she's an online, so you can share your email IDs. Yeah. And yeah, so if no questions, we can wind up. And if any questions you are coming across after this training, you can reach out to Visual Path. They will forward that question and I can respond it accordingly.
Yeah.
So when the actual
Suresh,
batch will start?
So most likely we will start in next week itself.
Okay, yeah. And the timings,
Yeah.
like, is it confirmed or like?
timing.
That's something we are discussing internally. So what is the preferred timings you're looking for? Anything you have preference?
Yeah, I have a morning because I need to go to office, right? So morning times are preferable for me. Around 7:30
Okay.
to 8:30 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we will set it up accordingly. It's possible. Yeah. Okay. Forward then. Thanks everyone. Take care. Be safe. Happy week.
Suresh, actually, I drop out. Actually, when this batch will start and what is the timing?
So currently we are targeting for morning batch and timing. Yeah. So either it is 7:30 or 8 IST.
7:30, right? Uh,
Yeah.
Suresh, can you share the all courses syllabus on my mail?
Okay. So if you want to look at the course content, it is already published in the Visual Path website. You can go to the Visual Path website upfront. Visual Path AWS. If you just Google it, so you have the course content upfront here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's starting from Monday, right?
Yeah. So either it's Monday or Tuesday. So we are looking at least
We
few.
not possible weekdays.
I think your
Hello.
voice is breaking. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Suresh, hi, Jitendra. It is
Yeah,
possible for
Jitendra.
weekend.
Yeah, we can plan for weekend. I will discuss with the Visual Path. So generally we get the students around weekdays. So it's depends on the enrollment. To be honest. Yeah. So if you have good enrollment for weekend, then we put weekend batches. Yeah. Okay. Perfect then. Any other question before winding up? Okay. Not a problem. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time. Happy weekend.